You know, we've all heard that we've evolved from monkeys, but we usually stop there. What about the future of our evolution? We've been around for millions of years, but what's next? Will we be taller, smarter, more connected? Or will we be something entirely different? Today, we're decoding what the next version of humans might look like. Let's dive into what evolution is all about. First off, a quick recap. According to our favorite old school teacher, Mr. Darwin, evolution happens through natural selection. In other words, the fittest survive. But here's a fun fact. It's not all about survival. If the definition was only survival, then we would still be single-celled organisms. Evolution is also about thriving and reproducing. So, back to the question, how does this happen? Well, through genetic mutations caused by changes in the environment. Helpful traits get passed along. So those traits become more common over time. For example, darker skin might help protect against sun damage in areas with lots of sunshine. So people with that trait might have more babies who also have darker skin. Over many, many years, this can change the whole population. And because our species has big brains and opposable thumbs, we can now do things that no other animal can do, like record and watch videos about space. That includes you watching this video right now. Anyway, evolution is usually taught in school, but not in future-focused terms. So, let's fix that. Let's take a look at the forces that are actively changing us right now. Scientists predict these forces will continue to influence human evolution in the future. First, technology. Consider how much our relationship with screens has changed in just the last decade. Our phones, tablets, and computers have become essential parts of our lives. Not only do we use them every day, but we also rely on them for almost everything. Screens emit a blue light which reduces our ability to see in dim light. And yet, ironically, we spend a lot of time in dark places like clubs, subway tunnels, and even our own bedrooms without enough natural light exposure. This could mean that over time, our eyes might evolve to be bigger, giving us better vision in low light conditions. Another way technology could shape our evolution is through AI implants. AI implants will allow us to interact with machines using our thoughts. One day soon, they might replace the need for sign language or written communication. But will they make us smarter or lazier? There are pros and cons to both sides of this argument. However, one thing is certain. Technology will continue to change us whether we like it or not. Second, the environment. More and more people are moving to cities, meaning larger social groups and less time spent outdoors. On top of this, climate change is making weather more extreme in some parts of the world. These changes may lead to new traits that help us adapt, like being able to tolerate higher temperatures or find shelter quickly. Because humans tend to spend more time indoors, we may even evolve lighter skin to get enough vitamin D from artificial lights. Third, our lifestyle. Sedentary behavior like long periods of sitting and an energy-dense diet high in processed foods is becoming more common. On top of this, large portions and easy access to food might mean that our jaws and teeth will shrink since we won't need them to chew tough foods. This will make us look a bit like the skull-pelvic reconstruction done by Joey Clayton on an ancient Homo sapiens cranium. While this may seem negative, smaller jaws mean more room in our skulls for bigger brains. After all, humans did go from having brains the size of a walnut to having brains that can play StarCraft. Finally, fourth, our social structures. As we communicate more online than in real life, we might start to feel less connected to others, which could impact our mental health. Virtual identities and avatars are becoming normal. For example, on the popular game Fortnite, players can use their imaginations to create a unique character to represent themselves. Many kids spend hours deciding what their avatars will look like. It's even said that some parents are considering having their children born via in vitro fertilization, selecting their sex, eye color, and hair color before birth. Maybe one day we'll all have custom-made babies. A company called Essence even offers this service for dogs. The possibilities are endless. So, based on all this, what might the next versions of humans look like? Well, first off, physically. We're already seeing changes in body shape, size, and proportions. Our ancestors were shorter, stockier, and had longer arms and legs compared to modern humans. And looking ahead, some scientists predict that the average human will be taller and leaner. Why? Because of the way we live now and the fact that humans generally give birth to fewer offspring later in life. This means that our bodies won't be optimized for carrying babies anymore, which could result in shorter and narrower pelvises for women. Our jaws and teeth might also get smaller since softer foods require less chewing power. And don't forget those thumbs. They're constantly evolving thanks to our love affair with mobile phones. Just kidding. It's probably not that simple, but according to a recent study, some scientists believe our thumbs have already started to evolve due to constant phone use. They say our thumbs will continue to get bigger to make it easier to press buttons on our devices. But of course, it's important to remember that not all humans evolve at the same rate. People who live in colder climates might develop more body hair to keep warm, while those in warmer climates might evolve less hair to stay cool. Some might even develop augmented limbs with bionic upgrades. Who knows? Moving on to cognitive evolution. Humans are developing new ways to interface with computers through brain-computer interfaces like Neuralink. These interfaces could help us control prosthetic limbs, communicate directly with computers, or even help restore vision to blind people. Imagine downloading an entire textbook into your brain in a few seconds. That's what's possible with brain-computer interfaces, and education would never be the same again. But this raises an ethical question. Should education be equal for everyone? Should everyone have access to brain-computer interfaces? What if only the rich can afford them? Would that create a divide between the smart and the non-smart? AI is rapidly advancing and is on track to become smarter than humans in many areas. Already AI can beat humans at chess, Go and StarCraft, which requires strategic thinking, planning and multitasking. Soon, AI might become our cognitive partner, helping us solve problems and make decisions faster than ever before. But will that make us smarter or lazier? Who knows? And finally, our attention spans are getting shorter, too. TikTok has changed the internet forever. In just a few years, its popularity has skyrocketed, especially among young people. As videos get shorter and easier to consume, we may evolve to have shorter attention spans. This might make it harder to focus on tasks that don't constantly stimulate us, but it might also make us quicker learners overall. It seems like humans will continue to evolve in many different directions. But here's the catch. Will all humans evolve equally? What about genetic inequality? Will only the rich get enhanced? Will we become multiple species of humans? This is where you come in. It's up to you to decide what the next version of humans should look like. Are you Team Natural or Team Upgrade? Let us know in the comments below. In conclusion, the next versions of humans are already here. We're part of them. The forces of nature, technology, environment, lifestyle and social structures are always changing us. Sometimes these changes are small and hard to notice, like the subtle shift in our thumbs as we get better at texting. Sometimes they're bigger and more obvious, like the changes in our brains as we learn new skills. And sometimes they're really big and can completely change the way we live, like the changes that allowed us to leave Africa and explore the world. We don't know what the next versions of humans will look like, but we do know that they'll be different from us in some way. The question is, what kind of different? It's up to us to decide. Do we want to be smarter, stronger, faster? Or do we want to stay the same? Whatever we decide, one thing is sure. The next versions of humans will be amazing. If you're a student, don't forget to subscribe for updates. And if you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends. Thanks for watching and see you next time.